Hi everybody, welcome to this video where I'm going to be giving you my best advice for choosing a university degree course and which university you'd like to go to. I'm going to start by talking about my own personal experience with choosing universities and degrees. So I'm in year 13 and last year I applied to study medicine at the University College London, UCL, Imperial, King's College London and Cambridge University. And for my fifth option, because in the UK you can only have 4 options as medicine and a fifth one as just any other course that's not medicine, my fifth option was neuroscience at the University of Nottingham. As well as these 5 options, I also applied to 3 options outside of the UK, well 3/4, and those were Yale University, Harvard University, Princeton University and Yale NUS. But I didn't apply for the financial aid for Yale NUS because it was sort of included in the Yale application, so I don't really count that as a 4th one. But I'm just going to be telling you my thought processes when I was choosing my degree, why I want to study medicine basically, and why I chose the universities which I chose to apply for. Hopefully you can learn something from my experience, or to just know that you're not alone if you're finding it hard to narrow it down, because it is a scary prospect trying to choose a degree which you'll be studying for at least 3 years when you're 17, 18 years old. Who knows, like you might choose something and then completely hate it because you don't know what studying it at university is like. It's a daunting prospect, but I'm sure with research, with listening to things like podcasts, YouTube video, talking to people that are involved in various careers and have done various university degrees, you can make an educated choice. And also talking to your family and your friends, and God if you're a Christian. Also, don't follow your friends if they're doing something. Don't feel pressure to do it just because you're friends with them. Don't even worry if you don't want to go to university or are unsure about it, because people make amazing lives and do amazing things without even going to university. University is great because you get that sort of social atmosphere, everyone's in it together, but if you don't go, you'll probably end up with highly different skills which employers will value just as much. I began thinking about what I wanted to do in year 10, and I always had medicine at the back of my mind, but throughout year 10 to 13 I kept on thinking about different degree choices like geography, music, PPE, just literally every degree choice there is, and I did so much research. I kind of knew that I always wanted to apply to Oxbridge, but also I've always liked universities like Imperial and those London ones because I just love London. That means that when I was choosing my degrees, I was mainly looking at the Oxford and Cambridge websites. So if you go on their undergraduate degree websites, you can see all the degrees and what A-level subjects they want, as well as their acceptance rates and different admissions tests that you have to do for them. And so I just researched literally every single degree, and I don't know why, but for some reason, even after I settled, so I was in the process of writing my personal statement, and I had already done probably like 3 drafts of my medicine personal statement, and then I just kind of changed my mind and I emailed my teacher saying that I wanted to do human sciences instead. I started writing a human sciences personal statement, but for some reason it just didn't flow as well as my medicine one did. Because when I was writing about my medicine one, I had so many different ideas popping up to me about what I wanted to include and write about, but I felt like writing a human sciences personal statement was more forced to me. So one thing which you can think about is, what subjects would you enjoy writing a personal statement for, and that you would think you'd have a lot to write about and be excited to write about it? Because some people can spend absolutely hours on their personal statement like me. I think I did at least 11 drafts and many more hours just like thinking about it, researching how to write it. I will definitely make a personal statement video one day because I think it's so important, even though comparatively things like your BMAT test or your A-levels are more important than your personal statement, writing one can really help you in the process of finding out who you are and why you really want to study that subject. And I think it's really important to be able to convey your passion. So do stay tuned for that video. And I just really loved the idea of medicine and learning about the human body, and I just knew even if I didn't end up becoming a doctor, because you don't necessarily have to become a doctor if you study medicine, there's so many different routes and paths out there, I'd still know that 6 years spent studying medicine would be really enjoyable for me, and it would be something I would feel excited about learning every day and exploring different specialties and just like learning more about life. And in terms of universities, I chose Nottingham for neuroscience because I had a look at its campus on pictures and I just thought it was a nice uni. I thought I liked the sports facilities and the opportunities there, not too far away from home, and I knew some people that were there, so I just thought why not for a fifth option. And in terms of my other four, King's was my only UCAT university, which is a type of medicine entrance exam that you do in the UK. And I just chose it because it was quite a prestigious UCAT university and it's close to home as well. And Imperial UCL, I think I knew I always wanted to apply to, and also Cambridge I also knew I wanted to apply to. And in terms of choosing between Oxford and Cambridge for medicine, there were lots of choices that influenced that decision for me, but most of all I kind of just always wanted to go to Cambridge since I was a child. But also I really wanted to go to Oxford because I really enjoyed the open day and going to colleges and stuff. So that was a difficult decision, and I may make a video about that later, but I'm trying not to make this one too long. And essentially I also chose Cambridge because I really liked the college which I applied to, because I went on an open day and it was just so pretty and I loved the atmosphere. So yeah, what's not to lose? Also it's slightly easier to get into Cambridge for medicine than Oxford, admittedly, but I shall elaborate more in a further video. And essentially medicine can lead to many paths, and this is the same with any degree that you choose. If you're feeling absolutely stressed about this now, just remember you don't have to do a job that's related in any way to your degree. You can also do a completely different degree afterwards if you want to. Like when I was in London doing my medicine work experience, I met this nurse and she did an economics degree, then she was in the process of doing a nursing degree, and then afterwards she wanted to do a medicine degree. So you can literally change and carry on learning for the rest of your life. And that's what's fun about life. So in terms of my 5 tips now for choosing, which will apply to hopefully all of you, is that generally number 1 is that you just have to think about the subject and be excited by it. Do you think about it and imagine yourself as a university student on a cold, wet February morning. You have to wake up early for lectures. Would you be happy about doing that? If not, you may have to look at different options. Number 2 is to do research, admissions and rankings, because it's nice to have a range of schools, so some which you know that you're definitely going to get into, some which you hope to, and some which you'd be just comfortable at. And it's worth noting that the more difficult it is to get into a school, the more competitive the school atmosphere will be. So that's something worth noting if you don't like a competitive atmosphere. And you know, it's completely fine to not go to Oxbridge or to one of those Russell groups or Ivy Leagues. Your university really does not define you, and it's the people that you meet that make your experience there so amazing. So I'm sure you'll meet amazing people anywhere you'll go. Next is to research the modules that you'll be learning, number 3, because a degree can sound all well and good, but if a degree with the same name can have completely different modules at different universities, so you need to make sure that you'd actually want to do the modules, and also research things like placement years and year abroad, because those can be really enriching to your university experience and it could sway you towards one university rather than another. Also, the obvious is to look at A-level grade requirements and see whether you can meet them and are doing the right A-levels. Number 4 is to research the city and the environment. A major part of university is the extracurricular life, and you don't want to be studying all the time, so make sure that you'll have societies which you'll be excited about joining and have just a nice city to live in, because after all you're going to be there for 3 or more years. Number 5 is to ask your family and friends and to just trust your gut feeling. And I would also recommend, if you're a Christian, to pray about it, and think about where can I make the most influence and impact for Christ. And if it's the same anywhere, then honestly just trust your heart and your intuition, talk to God about it, talk to your family, and just realise this isn't a life or death decision. You'll enjoy anywhere you go, and if you don't, it's never too late to change or to start again. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for listening as always, and I hope to see you soon in my future videos about university applications. Bye!